What's kicking, guys? Hitler Scott here, and I'm back for another YouTube video with Devin. And we're going to be doing episode number 3 of our Yu-Gi-Oh! Tutorial for Beginners series. So if you missed the last episode, make sure to go check it out on my channel. So we went over how the game map was actually laid out and how your field would look. So as you've seen, we've gotten rid of the whole field. So you're going to have to know where things are going when we play them. If you missed the first episode, you really need to check that out because you're going to be light years behind. So make sure you catch up on those. The link will not be in my description. If it is, it's a surprise, but I usually forget, as you guys know. So, we're just going to jump into it. Basically, we're going to show you how the turn goes through for turn 1 and turn 2 of a duel, and it kind of goes back and forth from there. So once you get the first 2 turns underway, you'll kind of get an idea of how to play the game for the most part. So, starting a game, before you even begin anything, each player starts off by drawing 5 cards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, from their deck into their hand. So once again, deck's on your right side. You pick up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards, just like that. 5 beautiful cards, and have them in. So, I'm going to go first. My channel, I'm being greedy, and I'm going to go first. So here's my hand here, as you can see. So I have 1 spell card, I have 2 monsters, and 2 traps. So that's my 5 cards. Now, on the very first turn of a duel, you don't draw a card. It's just because you get to go first, you have an advantage, you don't draw your first turn. Just the general rules. You used to be able to, you don't anymore. So, what the first part of your turn is called a draw phase, you skip it. Next phase is the second one, is called standby phase. The only thing that ever happens in standby phase is if a card effect activates, basically. So, for this duel, we're not doing a standby phase, it just skips. So the next phase you're actually going to do something in is called your main phase 1. And that's where basically everything happens except for battle. So, what we're going to do is, the first thing I'm going to do is activate my spell card, Pot of Greed. So I activate it in the spell and trap card zone, went over last episode, and its effect says draw 2 cards. So I draw 2 cards, 1, 2, add them to my hand, just like so, and then I send it to the graveyard above the deck. Now I'm going to normal summon out my Twilight Rose Knight. Remember, you only get 1 normal summon per turn, so use it wisely. So that was my normal summon. Now, his effect reads that when I normal summon him, I can special summon 1 level 4 or below plant type monster from my hand. Now, I happen to have Mystic Tomato. Now, I don't know if you guys can read that. He's a level 4, and he's a plant-type monster. Once again, you can see it right there. So I can special summon him to the field. So, you only get 1 normal summon, but you can special summon as much as you want per turn, as much as your monsters allow you to, up to the limit of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 monster card spots. You cannot have more than 5 monsters at a time. So, now that I special summon them out, I'm going to do something a little special that if you guys missed the first episode, this is where you're going to get lost. I'm going to synchro summon. So, my Twilight Rose Knight, if you can see there, it says Tuner right beside his effect. So, he's a tuner monster, which means I can synchro summon with him. So, I'm going to tune my level 3 Twilight Rose Knight to my level 4 Mystic Tomato, send them both to my graveyard to special summon out from my extra deck, the Black Rose Dragon. Now, I'm not going to activate his effect right now because it would destroy itself. So, Black Rose Dragon got special summoned.
You can if you want.
It'd
help me.
That's true, I could, but I'm not going to for now. For now, we'll see about it later. So, now, here's my hand. I have 2 monsters, 2 traps. I'm going to set my 2 trap cards face down in the spell and trap card zone. Once again, you need to wait a turn before activating trap card. And then I'm going to end my turn going to my end phase and pass it on to Devin. So, I didn't battle because you can't battle on your first turn. It's not fair because your opponent doesn't have a turn to play. So, I end my turn, it goes to him.
So now that second turn, all the stuff that he couldn't do, I can now. Because he's had a turn. He has monsters on the field. Hopefully.
Yeah.
So, he's going to start off with the draw phase. So I get to draw a card. So I now have 6. This is my hand here. Pretty good variety. So, this is where knowing your cards kind of comes into play. So, start off, I'm going to play my Cyber Dragon. Now, my Cyber Dragon has an effect. Its effect is if there is a monster on your opponent's side of the field, and there are no monsters on your side of the field, you can special summon this card. So as I said, you can only normal summon once. So I'm going to take advantage of that, save it, and I'm going to special summon my Cyber Dragon in attack mode. Why not? I have a plan. Because now I'm going to normal summon. I'm going to use my normal summon to summon out Proto Cyber Dragon, which is also an effect monster. He's going to play. Now his effect is, this card is treated as a Cyber Dragon when it's face up on the field. So now technically, I have 2 Cyber Dragons. His attack points don't change, but the name of the card does. The reason for that is because now I'm going to play the spell card, Polymerization. Now, Polymerization is a very handy card if you're playing a fusion deck. So I'm going to play it in my spell and trap card zone, and now I'm allowed to fuse any monsters that are on my field and in my hand. So I happen to have another Cyber Dragon in my hand. So I'm going to fuse the 2 Cyber Dragons and the now Cyber Dragon, send them to my graveyard, and a fusion summon from my extra deck, Cyber and Dragon. Kick ass, right?
So it's okay, it's all good. Ignore that.
I was told not to swear.
It's okay. So, as you guys remember, if you missed the first episode, go check that out. That's where I covered synchro summoning, fusion summoning, and Xyz summoning. So go check that out if you're kind of confused as to how we synchro and how we fusion summoned. So this is that polymerization card I was telling you about that I didn't have handy at the time. So that's what you need to fusion summon. This was a synchro summon in play. Go check that video out if you're lost. So, keep going.
So, now that effect was resolved, I have fusion summoned. My polymerization goes to the graveyard. Its effect's done. So, now, I can enter my battle phase. I'm done playing my cards, I want to attack now. Because it's second turn, I can. So I'm going to enter my battle phase, and my Cyber End Dragon with 4,000 attack points is going to attack his Black Rose with 2,400. If everything goes as planned, I should kill his Black Rose.
So, when he declares an attack, I'm now going to activate one of the trap cards I set last turn. So, once again, it's been over a turn since I set my cards. So I set them on my turn, it goes to his turn. Now I can activate my face down, Call of the Haunted. So, it's a trap card, once again. So I'm going to activate its effect, meaning I can special summon a monster from my graveyard in face-up attack position. So I'm going to choose to special summon out my Mystic Tomato. It's a plant-type monster, so I'll special summon in attack mode. Doesn't have to be a plant for Call of the Haunted, just important to know for now. So now what I'm going to do is going to activate a chain. So a chain is when you activate one card in response to another. And you can do that to your opponent's cards, to your own cards, however many times you want. There's an infinite amount of chains that you can do. So, Chain Link 1 is Call the Haunted. It's the first card that was activated. Chain Link 2 is going to be Wall of Thorns. So, Wall of Thorns can activate when a monster is when a plant-type monster is on the field and my opponent is attacking. So when that happens, then I can destroy every attack position monster on my opponent's side of the field. So it's a really, really handy card. So, first thing it resolves is Wall of Thorns because it's the last card played. So, Wall of Thorns is going to activate to destroy his Cyber End Dragon.
Now, if that was the end of the chain, my Cyber End Dragon would be done. But I'm going to continue the chain because I don't want my Cyber End Dragon to die. So I'm going to Chain Link 3, my Defusion spell card. Now, I can only do this because it's a quick play. If you see the little lightning bolt up in the corner, quick play means you can play during a battle phase. So I'm going to play my Defusion. Now, Defusion is the last chain unless you change something else. So it's going to resolve first. And what it does is allows me to send my Cyber End back to the extra deck and special summon any monsters that were used to fusion summon it. So from my graveyard, I can bring back my 3 dragons. Now, this is a special summon. So I can choose if they want to be in attack position or defense position. Now, his Wall of Thorns I know is still going to activate next, and it'll destroy any attack position monsters I have on the field. So why would I put them in attack position? So I'm going to special summon them in defense position. That way, when his chain comes, it'll activate, it'll go through, but I have no attack position monsters, so it won't destroy any of them. So this resolves, goes to graveyard.
So now that that's resolved, that was Chain Link 3. Now on to Chain Link 2, which is my Wall of Thorns. It activates, meaning destroys all attack position monsters he controls because he declared an attack. Well, he has none, so it destroys all the ones that don't exist, so there was none, and then it resolves, so it went to the graveyard. Next is my Call of the Haunted, special summon Mystic Tomato. So Mystic Tomato is special summoned, that's fine, that's the end of the chain. So, it is still his battle phase right now.
So, I don't have any attack position monsters. I can't attack, so I'm going to have to end my battle phase.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Didn't go as planned, but luckily I had a backup plan. So I end my battle phase and go into main phase 2. Main phase 2 is just like main phase 1. Anything I didn't do in main phase 1, I can do in main phase 2. So, if I didn't already normal summon, I can normal summon now. Wouldn't be able to battle because my battle phase is over. But I already used my normal summon, so that's over. But I do still have a trap card in my hand. So I'll use my main phase 2 to set my trap, and then I'll end my turn. Go into my end phase. We check the cards. Does anything activate in the end phase? It'll say right on the card. Doesn't, goes back to his turn.
So, that's basically how turns go, guys. Now, I want to show a little replay here of what would happen if I didn't play Wall of Thorns. Just kind of give you guys an idea of how the battle phase goes. So, once again, just a quick recap of what we did while Devin's setting up for this play. We normal summon. We can special summon as many times as you want. Normal summon only once. You activate your spell cards. You set your trap cards. You can do anything on your turn as long as it doesn't break those basic rules. And then you can do your battle phase as long as it's not the very first turn of the duel or another card prevents it. So, let's say, once again, I didn't have these cards out. And Devin has his Cyber End Dragon against my Black Rose Dragon. That's all that's on the field, and he's going to attack.
So, I declare an attack with my Cyber End Dragon against his Black Rose Dragon.
Yeah. So if you guys want to be advanced when you're declaring an attack, basically when you're in a tournament, you don't really want to say, I declare an attack with this card against that card. What you do is kind of a pro tip. You take your card, pick it up, and you kind of swing. It's called swinging at an opponent's monster. So you pick it up, you swing it at the other one, saying this one is attacking that monster. If it was a defense mode, once again, you're swinging at this monster to destroy it. Pro tip. Not a pro. Anyway, so he swings at my Black Rose Dragon. He has 4,000 attack versus my 2,400 attack point, so my monster gets destroyed. Now, the difference between our attack points, since we were both in attack mode, is 1,600 between 4,000 and 24. So I lose 1,600 life points. My Black Rose goes to the graveyard. Now, the goal of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is get your opponent down to 0 life points. You start off with 8,000 minus my 1,600, puts me down to 6,400. That's how much I have left. He gets me at 0, that's when I lose. Now, if I had brought out my Black Rose Dragon in defense mode and he attacked me, it would have destroyed my Black Rose Dragon still because I only have 1,800 defense points and he has 4,000 attack. But I wouldn't take any damage normally. If it was a normal monster, I wouldn't take any damage. However, Cyber End Dragon's effect does piercing damage, which means even if...
I'll read the...
go ahead.
So once you fusion it, a fusion summon of this card can only be done with the above fusion monster materials. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage to your opponent, which essentially means any difference between my attack points and his defense points gets subtracted from his life points.
Yeah. So normally that doesn't happen with a normal monster. So if his attack beats my defense points, if I'm in defense mode, my monster gets destroyed, but my life points are spared. However, since he does piercing damage, it inflicts the difference to me as damage. So that's what would have happened.
It'll say that on your card, so you never have to worry about, well, does my monster do this or not? It'll tell you.
Yeah. So that's what would have happened if I didn't have those cards. So that's how basically a battle goes through versus attack and defense position monsters. Really important to look at the stats of your monster, know which is stronger, and that's how you do the calculation to see how much life points you will or won't lose. Now, if I had Black Rose Dragon and I attacked his Cyber End during my turn, my monster is still destroyed because I'm weaker, and I still take the damage because I'm weaker. It won't work. So it doesn't matter who's attacking who, it's always based on those stats of which is stronger. But I think that's pretty much it for this demo. So I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please love that like button down below. 10 likes would be the goal. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss one of these videos. If you guys have any questions about what we did here in the past videos, make sure to comment them, and I'll make sure to reply and help you out the best I can. So thank you so much for watching. This is Scott, guys. Keep on kicking. Peace out.